previous video of CloudVision API, we learned how to use the CloudVision API. But in that, we able to get the data only into our log table. Now, in this video, I'm going to teach you how you can save that result, which is being returned by the API into your local database. In upcoming video, I will also teach how you can send it to the server and you can save it anywhere in your website or any other kind of database as well. For that, actually, to save the result in local database, we require the Flutter SQFLite plugin. So let's see how this plugin is being used and how we can save the data into the local database. So here is our application. Previously we have created like this and capture image and everything. Okay. So what we're gonna do is, first of all, we're going to add the plugin. So I close it here and I'm going to add the SQFLite plugin. So SQFLite colon, and the version we are going to use it like this, 2.0.0 plus 3. Means it can, why I'm adding the plus 3 here, so that in an upcoming it will be can be simply updated, or maybe coming versions can be added on. So once it is done, you click on pubget. Once we do the pubget, now next what exactly we are going to do is, we are going to use a new class. We will create the new database file, and in that we will create one database where they will save the data. Now along with this, we will also need one more plugin that is called the path provider. Okay, path actually, so that it is the path of your local database. Okay, so path underscore provider colon, and the version what we can use is 2.0.11. okay, then you just click on pubget. So like this, you have to use these two packages of the Flutter, which can be helpful for your database operations. Okay, now meanwhile it is adding, I will just go here, create one file and name it as a database helper. Okay, now once we're done here, what we're gonna do is, we are going to create a class for this, and we have to import the packages. So import package is here. So SQFLite, you can see this. So SQFLite dot. Okay, this is one we're going to use it, and then another also we're going to use it here. We put a semicolon and bring it here, and then another we are going to use the path one. Import package, not this one. We are going to use the path dot. Okay, let me close this section. Okay, now going ahead, we are going to create one class, database helper. Okay, this database class helper will be doing all the operations. Okay, so for the screen, we're going to go ahead and we're going to create a static final database helper. Okay, this class instance is equals to database helper dot so with the head, we are actually trying to initialize it over here. Okay, so database helper. Now it's maybe giving you the messages are like this, but not to worry, we'll see going ahead, we will be rectifying all this. So static database, okay, underscore database. Next is, we are going to use this database helper dot underscore init. Okay, so now you can see this error solved. Initialization of database, actually the operation for this one. Now next is, we are going to open, or you can say create database. Okay, I'll just put it like this. Now first what we exactly have to do is, we are going to create a feature. Why exactly we are using it, so that with the help of this feature, means it is a process means while creating the process means process in the sense it's creating the database. Okay, so it's an ongoing way because it's an async operation will happen. Okay, so database, here we will use it as a database. Going ahead, we will going to use a get database, async, and then close it here. After that, what we're gonna do, if underscore database not equals to null, we are checking that database is not null, then return underscore database. Okay, going ahead, underscore database then equals to await, so that a process of creating or initializing database should going ahead. Underscore init db. Okay, in that what we can do is we can name it something. Okay, so we can say image class C file. Okay, dot db. Okay, now once this is the name of your database actually. After that, we're going to return underscore database, checking for the null check. Okay, this is our first step of creating the database. Now next step is we are going to initialize it. Whatever the database you have created, you have to initialize that database. So I'll just make it as an initialize. Now for what we're going to do initialize it, we're going to use the future concept only, future in that database, and then we're going to use this initdb thing. Okay, and in that string file path where the database file is. Okay, sync. Now this is coming. Why is coming? You can see what's the message coming. It's saying the body might complete normally, causing the null to be returned. So because we have not finished the process of this one, so final db path equals to await, okay, get database path. Okay, wherever your database is being stored, you're going to get a path of it. Then path, this one, final path equals to join. We are joining the database, okay, db path with the file path. Okay, db path comma file path. Okay, once we done this, then we're going to use return await open database. Okay, and first is gonna path, then it will be comma version. We have to mention the version of the database. Okay, then comma on create. Okay, on create is got underscore create underscore create db. Okay, now this is going to be done here. This is we are going to initialize. Now this method we are not having right now, so we will have that method as well. So this will create the database. So next is feature in, and in that we have to create this one. Okay, so we create that database. So feature create db, and then we're going to use it a database db comma int version. Okay, and then async, because everything here will be then a async mode, because that is an asynchronous operation is going to happen. Okay, now this is also await. After that db dot execute. Okay, this is going to be execute here. Now the process is here very simple. Here only we are going to create the table. Okay, So how are we going to create the table? Because we already have a database with us. Now with the base of the database, we are going to create some results. Okay, you can name it anything to your database. So just put it like this, and in between this only we are going to do our operations. Okay, that here should be one more, and then we are going to here semicolon. Now in between of this we are going to create our string for creating the database. So create table, okay, tbl image. Okay, now you can go accordingly, your choice also. Okay, you can name the table anything. So I just put it as always good to use tbl. So you should be having identification. There's a db and the difference between that one. Okay, so id integer, okay, primary key. Why I'm using this method auto increment, so that the first column should be an integer, it should be a primary key, and it should be auto increment. So keep on increasing the image path will be, we have text, we cannot put it as an int. The result, whatever the result is coming, we are going to put it as a text, and also we are going to use the timestamp, what time the database being saved. Okay, that is also I'm gonna use it as a text. Going ahead, here this section is done. So what we have done is here is database, initdb, createDB. Okay, after doing this the db things, next two operations are there where we are going to insert the result which is coming from the image classifier screen. Okay, so future int insert classification result. Why I'm using classification result? Because what exactly we were using here, the name, so it's easy for you to identify it in the things. So classification result, okay, and then you name it as a result. Okay, it's also to be having an async modification. Okay, so final db, what we're gonna do is await, final db is to await dot get instance dot database. Okay, and then next is return await db dot insert. What's the table name? tbl name. Okay, and the values was what, whatever the values are there. So we result dot map. We will see what is this map and everything we will be able to identify. Okay, what is this asking is undefined class classification results, or that we can see that how exactly we are going to get that data. Okay, now also along with this we can create one more method. We are going to use a retrieving data. So I just simply copy it, and I will make it here a small change it here instead of int, or you can just simply do like this, future list. Okay, in this list we have this classification result, or get all classification result. We will see this what exactly is this classification result, because there is a model we have to create from what data we used to get. Okay, async, and then close it here. Now final same thing, we can use it, we can use this line only because we are also trying to get the data. Okay, and then we are going to use the final result, okay, equals to await db.query. Okay, in that query we are going to get the classification result from this one. Then return. What we're going to return is result. So this line exactly we are going to do it little later. So how exactly we are going to do this little later, we'll see that. So we stop it here, and then we are going to create a model of what the data is being returned. If you remember in the previous application, in the previous section, when we running this application and we go here and then we capture some image. Now I have captured the image. Now in that case, when the data is being returned, what exactly the data is coming over here, as it's keep on processing, and once this process, the data will come, and whatever the data is to be there, or the API key was depend according to that, we can able to see that. Okay, meanwhile it is fetching the information. What exactly we can do, we see what exactly is giving me the error that connection failed, because the reason is maybe the asynchronous suspension, or it can be the reason that API key I'm not regularly using. But I'll just show you how exactly we can save the result which is being coming. Okay, so meanwhile it will do that. I'll just go ahead and I'll create one model. So go here, create a directory. In that I'll create as a model a directory. In that model, what exactly we have to create it, we have to create a file name as a classification. So Dart. Why we are creating this, if you remember in the previous code, what the data was being returned from the API, how we exactly going to put that API data to be here. So we're going to create a class classification result. Okay, that we were just now using it. Okay, classification result. In this we are going to create this final model. Actually we are creating final ID, final string of what, image path, final string of result, final date time. Okay, or timestamp. Okay, so what exactly it is saying, that final variable must be initialized. We can do that one, that's not required right now. Here it will automatically go away this error by this classification result. Here we are going to initialize them. This dot id required, this dot image path required. As you can see on the top, the errors are going away. Result required, this dot timestamp. So all this is done. I formatted it and I put a semicolon here. Now we are going to create a mapping string. Convert a now we are going to do using that, like converting a classification result into a map object for the SQFLite data. Okay, converting. Okay, means converting. Going ahead. Okay, now map string. Okay, the dynamic data will be there, so dynamic to map, and then we are going to create as a method type. Going ahead, return. What we're going to return is, in the semicolon, whatever the data is there to be, close it here. Okay, now here what exactly we are converting the classification into a map object type, so that it can be used in the SQFLite. Okay, so what we're going to do is id colon id comma image path colon image path, same way the details, result, and then the last one is our timestamp. So you can just simply take the timestamp here, so it's not give me the taking much time, and then just put it here. We have to use the colon. Okay, now this is done. Now at last what we're going to is we are going to converting a map object into a classification result. So this is closed over here. Now we are going to converting a map object. So factory, we are going to use the factory keyword for that. Classification result, okay, dot this one, classification result from map, okay, map string capital S comma dynamic, and then going ahead map, okay, then put it all in this here. Right now is giving me the body might completely. Now this will come once you going ahead, then it will not be coming, right? Return classification result, okay, so it's automatically giving you what exactly it is going to be resulting. So ID is not showing here right now, so we're going to put as ID, okay, colon map, the bracket, we're going to put ID, okay, and then we're going to use a comma, okay. Same thing, you just do it here for all to be in a new line. This becomes easy. So what exactly you can do is you can just copy this and here and here and here, okay. Now you can just copy paste here simply, it will save your time, okay. What exactly we have done here. So this section is already over. Now what exactly will happen into the next section? In the previously just now we are talking about the database helper. So this is actually giving this error because this classification result import model, we have to import this model, okay. So classification result. Now what we're going to do is result dot map, okay. In that map only we are going to ahead, okay. So map, next was what, our classification result, okay. The same thing is coming as, but we are not going to use it here like this. We have to just remove it all here. It will be from map, okay, from map, and in that bracket we will be having E, okay. Then one more bracket closed here, dot to list. So as you can see, all the errors or whatever is we think here is just being gone here. That will not be a issue for us, okay. What exactly is asking here? Make the return type, okay, so it's perfectly fine. It was asking for the make the return type. What it has disturbed, okay. So we're going ahead and then we can see how exactly once we're going to integrate in our image classify. Now going ahead, we coming back to our this image classify section, okay. What exactly we were doing it earlier, we were able to just printing the data over here. Now in this also with the SQFLite, I'll also tell you that in case you want to get the specific responses also, means in the sense of a specific response, like you want to verify the house. So in this example I will tell you about the house, in case if you want to capture an image and you want to verify is there any house or not, okay. So what exactly you can do? So if, okay, this is response status code, we are going to check it first and then we verified is it 200, because if 200 means is okay. So after this what we're gonna do is, so what final data, it was returning in the form of data, as you can see that. So the data, whatever the data is coming equals to JSON, okay, JSON decode. So this JSON, the data is returned in the form of JSON, so we are going to decode it with the help of JSON response body, and then we're going to use it as a form of the list and string, okay. It should be capitals S, and then what are the labels, okay. Labels means these labels are actually you can define whatever exactly you are looking from the API, because when we use this API we use for a specific purpose, like I want to verify some houses, like I'm making something an application where I want to verify to get some data from the houses or something, or I want to verify that this place have a bridges, okay, verify that any devices are there. Accordingly, we can proceed further and we can get that data. Okay, now going ahead, what we can do is we are going to get that label detection results. Okay, we are going to define a specific label detection. Okay, now data, okay, whatever the response is in this bracket, response, okay, should be in the 0. So why 0? Because we are getting the first value of that particular array. Okay, and then here label annotations, okay, not equals to null. Then after that, what labels we want to define? Labels, okay, equals to list string dot from, okay, from where? This one. If it is not equal to null, then we're going to get the labels from here. Then go to the next line. It's always to be like this, so that it's more easy for you to identify. Dot map, okay, label this label and the description. Okay, so I just copy this one, it's easy more here. In that, what we're gonna do is like this. These are the descriptions. We have to be missing one more section. Now from this label annotations, we are going to get some data, and here what exactly we are going to use is description. Okay, description is what actually whatever the result is coming from there, we are using that as for verifying. Now we are going to define some keywords or something like that. How are we going to define that keyword? Okay, so that we can know what exactly we are looking for. So string, okay, capital string, and then building keywords. We are going to put it as a building or skyscraper, okay, and accordingly you can add on as many as, okay. This is the list. We can use these keywords as many as keywords you want to verify. You can simply, because API will return so many data here. Okay, now checking for the specific terms, what exactly we are going to check it. Specific terms in the sense like what exactly we are looking for. So bool has building, okay, equals to labels dot any label building keywords, this one, okay, dot any, okay, element is any, means here we're going to use having a keyword, then label dot to lowercase. Why I'm putting is lowercase? Because we just want to verify that particular data is there or not. So contains, okay, what? The keyword, okay. Now from this we can simply pre-A means like we can get to know the data, okay. Now how exactly we are going to insert in our database, okay. So save the result to the database, okay. How are we going to save it? classification result, okay, that we have created here. So classification result, the alias of it, classification result, and as you can see is automatically is getting all the data here. So the result, whatever the result is there, here we have taken result as in this variable, and the timestamp is, we can even name it as a date time dot now, okay. Now what exactly is asking here, the string can't be assigned to parameter, so you can name it as a string. So once you put it as a toString, so it will be coming here. Now we are going to insert this into the database. We have already got the data from here, okay, and then await database helper class that we have created here earlier, database helper class, okay, dot instance, in that using it dot insert classification result. That method we have created, this is the classification result. We are going to pass it over here, and then after that we are going to end up here. So what exactly is, we have captured all these details and we have used this result. Now you may be thinking, we have this section to checking that has building or not. So what exactly we are going to rephrase it, we are going to use this line, okay. From this you can simply insert in your database, okay. If you don't want any other response and any other data to be label annotations or something, so we can simply put that image path, result string, and date time now here directly in session. But because with the help of this you can know what exactly kind of data is coming, so we can create one simple rephrase here, if has building, okay, a bool, okay, and then we can check it, let's go result. In that result what we can have, label dot join, okay. What we're gonna join is, we are going to separate these values, okay, join that value so that we can know that what has happened. So what we're going to check it, has building, okay, so we are checking is has building or not. So after that colon, and then we're going to check it that is there or not, so put in the slash and then line, so detected building, detected building, whatever the building we are going to detect is, and then we put it like this. So in case have some data or something is there coming, then fine, or you can just simply come here and just put it as a else condition, and then in the result what exactly do is, let's go result that no building found, okay, that's all. So once we are done with this, they can simply see that no building found, so I will just make it proper. Now going ahead, how exactly whatever the data has been inserted, how exactly you are going to print it out. So not here, what exactly we are going to do, we are going to create a new method to fetch what data is being inserted. So future, we will put it in a void because we don't want any value to be returned, void, okay, and fetch classification data, okay, async, and in that we're going to result. So final result equals to await database helper dot instance dot get all classification results. From where this method is coming, this method is coming from here, okay, then close it. For why I'm putting the for, so that whatever the data is there we can simply see it, results for where results result in results, okay, we're going to print it. So print image path, okay, with image path, and then colon dollar. In that we're going to put result dot image path, and then close it. You can print on the screen also, we can see that as well later, okay. So it has to be image path. Now the result, whatever the result is being there in a full result in the sense like from the API whatever the data is being result, okay. And we can see it here as a time stamp, okay. So put it as a time stamp. So as you can see, this section is already over. So how exactly we are going to do that whenever the fetching the data? Now all things are okay. Now how are we going to fetch this data? So what we can do is we can create a simple copy button here and just put it here and name it as fetch data. Then we just call this method here. Now in case once we have called this method, let's see that, okay. So I just saving the result here, reloading the files, okay. It has something like Flutter join isn't letter, not a problem, we can fix that as well in the database, okay. Fine. So this is your code done. Now if your API is running and you will run it and you will proceed further, that is actually once we just have to reload it, then it will be fine. Let me see what exactly it is saying there. Package path dot dart error, where this has to be that a file name directly name and volume syntax is correct, import package, okay. Maybe something is we are missing here. Import package path dot, yeah, okay, this is the thing actually. So now as you can see it's reloads here, just actually we put the forward slash over here, so that will not be an issue. You have to be careful while importing the package as well. So once all the packages are fine and perfect, then we are able to see that, okay. So we can see that in our running device. Right now if you want to fetch data, nothing is there, so because no database is being created. So once we capture it, and we'll see that. In case if the result is not returning, then maybe the API has been spoiled, or maybe the payment or something is being stuck, because this is very common to happen, because when we not use regular the API and payment billing and everything, in that case this is a very normal case to happen. So if your API is perfectly working fine, you can make it sure it's working, and in case if you still face the issue, then we can look into that and we can solve the issue. Now as you can say that, and look up vision Google APIs, these kind of like you can see asynchronous suspension and this, that the reason is only simple that because of fear the API key may be not working. That is one of the case. So once your API key is working, the result, whatever the result is there, it will be definitely coming over here. So that's all in this video. See you in another video.